Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the finale of season 7. We've reached round 8, gotten here pretty quickly, and we're finishing at home. Crucially, both of them getting over the line just before the checkered flag. So those two. So that is the end of qualifying. Who's still out on track? We just have LNR out on track, Springbok Gamer and Boucher. So let's run through that field before the screen hops away. Don't think we'll see too many changes from now till then. Nick Leon looks to have taken provisional pole so far. Pace the only one, LNR Pace the only one who can change that. He's currently going around the Crocodile Bend, goes into Cheetah, that's where you want to miss the sausage curb, and then into the final corner, ink where it is. Does he get a good run up the line? All he needs is a 10th or 2 and he will find a couple positions. Was the final lap worth it? Yes, it was. Look at that. Pole position. Took it right to the end. Pushed it right to the end. And well, I was wondering, he kept on staying out there. Didn't want to come in the pits. Knew something I didn't, and that's because he was in the green the whole time. And he takes pole position going into the final round here at Kyalami. So Eleanor from Nick Leon right at the end, 200ths of a second. After lap 4, further up the road, LNR gap coming down ever so slightly, 2.9 seconds. God knows he needs to hold on to that gap, can't let that gap get too big. Obviously when the cars are relatively close together, matter of seconds, then pit stops come into play and the overcut and the undercut come into play and all sorts of strategies. But if you let that gap get too big, then Eleanor at the front, that gap has come down. I mentioned it, touched 3 seconds. And it seems like Nick Leon reacted and he started pulling it back ever so slightly. Now he's pulled it back a lot. It's 2 seconds now. So what will Pace do? Will he react and try go even quicker, or is this everything he has? Gap stays the same for now. 2 seconds, just drops a couple of hundredths off. Nothing much to speak of. Back at the front, things are happening. Is Eleanor just losing pace? What's going on? Or was Nick Leon taking it easy, warming things up? I'm not sure, but he's really pulled that gap down now. It says 1.2 on our screens. It doesn't look like 1.2. Let's see when they go over the timing beam. It's under a second, 9/10 of a second now, the gap for the lead. They stole that pole position from Nick Leon right at the end of the session. In fact, after the checkered flag had come down. Now Nick Leon coming back to reclaim that spot. Let's go to your leaders. 5/10 of a second covers the two of them. Nick Leon all over the back of the Audi ahead of him. He wants to get past. Wants to get past now. Said he was taking a breather. Well, now it doesn't look like he's taking a breather. Looks like he's having a second go at it. Nick Leon down the straight. Not close enough. Down into the kink. He's going to have to be incredibly late on the brakes, but he's too far back. And Eleanor has the line already. Together they go through the Yuxke sweep. Old iconic pit straight. This straight obviously is the old pit straight, but it ran in the opposite direction of what the cars are running now. Leon looks interested. This is a very tricky part of the racetrack if you want to pull off passes. They're heading now towards the S's. Back at the front, Eleanor, Nick Leon, no change between these two, 7/10 of a second. Used to have raced each other from the start of the race. Right till now, not giving each other any space, any rest. Who's going to pull the trigger first when it comes to the pit stops? They will be crucial. Nick Leon is on his way. And with Sneer diving into the pits, it means that Nick Leon will keep the lead of the race, I believe. Yes, he does. There's Eleanor just behind him. And they've got Ranger in between. The lap driver just to give Nick Leon a little bit of a cushion while he's trying to warm those tyres up. Eleanor can't get at him. But obviously the top two just in a race of their own. Kuda was the leading Porsche, now Nismak's the leading Porsche. Kuda's done both mandatory stops, Nismak still needs to do one. And Kuda and Sania are potentially in a very strong position going forward here. That is what it looks like to Eleanor Pace, currently in second. A few tenths of a second adrift from the leader. Just 2/10 of a second slower than Nick Leon on that previous lap. So we're trying to just stay with him. And then this gives us a great impression of what they can see, and what they can see is not much. Eleanor now starting to pull that gap back slightly. Wonder if he maybe made a mistake, and that's why Nick Leon was able to open that gap so quickly, up to 2.8 seconds. Pulled it back to 2.1 and now 1.9. So starting to come backwards again. These cars seem to be magnetically attracted to each other when they get too far apart. All of a sudden, last time around, Eleanor led the race from Nick Leon. Very similar situation to what you see in front of you right now, except the cars were reversed. On that particular occasion, Eleanor, the leader, he pit first, and Nick Leon was able to jump him. Nick Leon will have that in the back of his mind, and he'll be thinking twice about pulling the trigger first. Go back to the battle for the lead, because these two cars have found each other again. 0.4 of a second is the gap. Eleanor pace all over the back of Nick Leon. Is it really worth it making the pass now on track when you both have to do a mandatory stop within the next 30 minutes? Is it worth going side by side and risking damage before that last round of pit stops? Just gonna pull the trigger first here. Somebody gonna dive into the pits, or they're both gonna go around the final corner? It's Eleanor. Pulled the trigger first the first time round. He's gonna pull the trigger first. Second time round, just couldn't find a way past Nick Leon, and he's decided to pit. So when does he pit? Does he pit now? Does he pit later? Does he try and put a few good laps together and pit in 5 laps time? What is the plan? So frustrating, we don't know. We have to just keep watching. He does dive into the pits very next lap. Eleanor is coming around Cheetah Corner and going towards Inque. Where is Nick Leon? He's getting underway now. Pace will be coming around the final corner. It's going to be close, but I think Nick Leon's done just enough to hold on to the lead. Has he? Where is Pace? He's done just enough, and Nick Leon leads from Eleanor Pace, and he's got 2 back markers in between him and the man in second for good measure. He was running around in 13th. Nick Leon still in the front. Eleanor still looking for that mistake. Mistake not coming. Two of them getting so close here in turn 1. Brilliant driving in the dark. Getting so close and not making contact. Brilliant driving from both of them on the night. These long races are very rewarding when you finish them. But these two in front, they've got a 90% of the coverage tonight, and I don't feel bad about it because it's been brilliant racing. These two never more than 3 seconds apart, and most of the time they've been within a second, fighting all the way. For over an hour and 40 minutes these two have been at it, and now they're heading side by side down into the mine shaft, and Nick Leon is gonna come out with his nose in front. Eleanor doing everything he can, throwing everything he can at that Ferrari, and it's just a few tenths short of what he needs. Really close here on the exit. It's gonna give it everything down the main straight. Gonna have to get side by side. This is too far behind. There we go. That he thought about it. Thought better of it. Tucks in behind the Ferrari, but that does put the Ferrari off. He runs wide a little bit. That puts you off into Yixke, and that lets Eleanor come right back. And they're right back together on the old pit straight. The battle continues at the front. Pace ahead of Nick Leon. They're far up the road from third place, Sania. Tonight these two have shown that close racing over a long period of time with no contact is definitely possible. Attack after attack, corner after corner. I haven't seen contact between these two. I've only seen good driving. Let's hope I don't jinx it now. Nick Leon right on the gearbox of Eleanor as they go through the XK sweep. Thought he was actually going to take it late on the brakes there into barbecue, but he did not. He kept his patience, stays behind him going through sunset. To be as close as he possibly can. Thought about going up the inside. And this race is still not decided with 2.5 minutes to go. The leader under pressure. The man in second throwing absolutely everything at him. Not going to be about saving the tires or conserving the fuel at this stage of the race. You've done all that. You've done all the management during the course of the race. Now it's the end of the race. It's about getting your foot down, finding the gap, going for it. And Nick Leon's going to do everything he can to convert the second place into a win over the next 2 minutes. He's definitely not going to just roll over and sacrifice this. Oh no, we have had a mistake. I didn't want to say anything immediately because I thought it might be the internet, but that is Nick Leon. Finally a mistake from one of the two drivers. And now he's in a very precarious position. Lots of cars coming by. Has to let them all go by. He can now rejoin the race. And Eleanor will breathe a sigh of relief, because he is now in a position to win this race. He just needs to bring this car home over the next 50 seconds or so. There is Eleanor Pace sitting around Cheetah. And then Inque. Is he going to go over the line, or is he going to slow it right down? Slows it right down, and this will be, that's it. He's won. Nicely done. Nicely finished. A little zigzag over the line. No flick of the lights. I was expecting a flick of the lights, but Eleanor has